Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much to come here to see me, hear me. My admiration, because when you look outside, weather horrible, traffic horrible, everything horrible, I was thinking if I wasn't speaking there, I wouldn't come. And here you are. So, how I want to do it, I will try to fit in that one permitted, allowed, given hour. And if you have any questions, hopefully you have, let's keep it to the end. Now, I am here to tell you a story about the greatest company on earth ever, the Adastra Group. Okay, so it's overstatement. I see that you are not buying it. But for me, it's true. I hope that it's true also for our 650 employees. I hope that it's true for our 160 existing customers, and also the past customers who will coming back to us. And I hope that I excite you enough that you would say that Adastra might be, if not the greatest ever, pretty decent company today, at least in that trade what we chosen to be and to do our business in. So, few words about Adastra on the high level. We are a professional services company founded here in the province of Ontario. Now we are global. We have offices in a number of countries. Here our headquarters are in Markham. We have also new office set up just 6 months ago in Montreal, and very new office in New York. We have offices in Europe, the strongest, largest traditionally. Well, you will hear soon that I am actually Czech Canadian, so no surprise that our European headquarters are in the great city of Prague. And we have a quite sizable office in Frankfurt, and smaller office in London, and pretty big office in Bratislava, the capital of the Slovak Republic, from where we serve also our Austrian clients in Vienna, because Bratislava, Vienna, that's just like Markham coming downtown Toronto. And we have our offshore facilities in Sofia, Bulgaria, and I will tell you why, perhaps, with few words. And then, what we do, we are a professional services company in the IT field, and the subset of IT, the most exciting field, I think, is called information management. So we are a professional services company in information management. When we started, we focused predominantly on something what was named data warehousing, and of course business intelligence, but that field is growing, expanded, so now it's all under the umbrella of information management. And so that we couldn't get enough from being professional services company, we thought it would be also great to be software company, because when you think about the truly large enterprises, and I don't know what you think about them, but they are big anyway. So like IBM, have you heard, or Oracle, they are not only in the services, but they are in the software, they are even in the hardware. So we are now in the software. We have also a subsidiary of ours, a company called Atacama, which is true software company, product company, software in the area of data quality and master data management. And we are selling our product on 4 continents, happily. And so the only thing to catch up with IBM and Oracle, it's to add hardware. I'm not sure that we want to get into hardware. But that's it. That's the story of Adastra in a nutshell. And I will walk you through how we got here. I will take a look whether I set all the numbers. Well, the revenue will be this year over 80 million US dollars, what's equal Canadian dollars. And we hope that in 2 years we will make it to that nice benchmark 100. That isn't that we are obsessed with money and with revenue, but just it sounds good for the marketing purposes to say 100. Okay. And we got a number of awards, and that had been mentioned here. So, few words about that information management, because I see that you are covering so many backgrounds here, and you might wonder what is it at information management. We collect data. Not only we, our society in our lifetime, the companies we deal with, the telco companies and the banks and the governments and schools, and essentially any enterprise today runs on computers, right? And that means collecting data. And then you have data while you have it, so that you could draw some intelligence out of it. You could use the data for something better, improving your services, improving your product, understanding your company better, understanding your markets better, understanding your customers better, and understanding all the risks better. And of course, beating the competition, right? So this is why we collect the data. But you have these huge amounts of data sitting in variety of systems, variety of computers, databases, all different formats in different places, subsidiaries, departments. And someone needs to look at it and bring it all together in clean format, in a format which could be analyzed, which could be aggregated, where some intelligence could be drawn from. And this is what we do. This is what we do, right? It's a fantastic field. It's a field, of course, I sometimes on the philosophical level, I think, my God, where we will get as a society, because now so many things can be computed, predicted, evaluated, and of course, we benefit from that as individual people, because one nice example I heard at some conference last week, when this continues, it might be that in front of your house, an emergency vehicle would stop in, and they will, two men will rush, and MD will rush to you, and they will grab you and put you in that vehicle, and they will say, "Sir, we are here because in 2 minutes you are about to get a heart attack." So, because maybe closer to that, we will be able, also with all the DNA research and in the fields of healthcare and Medicare, etc. So we will, because that's another fantastic field where we are collecting huge amounts of data, research data and patients data, putting it all together, right? The pharma research coming to that. So maybe this will be possible in our lifetime, something like that. But imagine also that certain companies, the governments, the banks, the telecommunication companies, they have enormous power over our lives. So I don't know where it leads, but we are helping those companies to get better control of all of us. And I hope that they will use that information only for the better, to provide better services, more targeted, what we really need and what will make our life better. Whatever it will be, that's the field of information management. Now, this field is exponentially growing because the amount of collected data is exponentially growing, and analyzing it is better understood as really serious tool, serious weapon. Some people are saying that this century, the 21st century, the fuel of our lives, our economies, is really information. What it used to be, pumping gas, or maybe the gold fever in the 19th century. This is today information. So it's very crowded field. Lots of people, lots of companies are competing there, but it's also very exciting field, and I am very glad that this is somehow it happened through my life that I landed in this field. So that much to the information management. Now, I want to tell you a few words about myself, because this is probably why you came here. So a little bit of my personal background. I was born in the communist country of Czechoslovakia. Soon as I realized that it's in that prison-like communist system, I decided not liking it, and was obsessed leaving that system and leaving those constraints. I made several attempts, and eventually I succeeded with my wife and son, very small son, 1-year-old. We immigrated to Germany, to West Germany at the time, and it was just something like 8 or 9 months before the so-called Velvet revolution or the fall down of the communist system, but we couldn't know it at that time, and since then we kept moving forward. I studied economics first, the Prague School of Economics, and then I studied mathematics at the Charles University in Prague, and then I continued in Germany. I served 1 year in the communist military, and that made me enormously unhappy because it was really like sitting in a prison. But I think that was one of the most valuable experiences I had, because this is where I learned. It was the first opportunity I got. I got then several more in my life, but first opportunity where I learned the art of survival in a hostile environment. So. When I finished that 1 year military service, I started working as an assistant professor, essentially a researcher, and started my PhD in Prague. But then the lucky opportunity emerged that I got in some exchange program, which was very rare that the communists would let someone go. There were 200 candidates for that one exchange, 3 months exchange program with one West German university in Münster, in North Rhine-Westphalia, in Western Germany, what it used to be close to the Dutch border. And I won it somehow, and I used it to leave and not immediately to return. I returned to the Czech Republic a little bit later, so now I will travel there on Saturday, and part of our business is there, as I mentioned. But I got there not by moving backward. I still, like when you play tennis, they tell you that when you are moving to the net, never move back, like always keep moving forward. So I kept moving forward, and because the earth is round, I made it again to the Czech Republic in some way, but that was the complete circle. In Germany, struggles, obviously, the Germans are nice people, but they didn't want, when I applied for the asylum, they didn't want to allow me to work. And this is what you need to do when you are young and want to be something. And I wanted to continue doing research because I was sort of obsessed with the academic career. Because that was the only thing what I knew. Because doing business in the communist system, that was illegal. It was completely illegal. There were minimal sentence for doing business, some kind of enterprise. Of course, you couldn't set up a company, but being entrepreneur meant to be sentenced to at least 2 years in jail. And also for illegally leaving the country, not returning back, right? So I was allowed to leave for 3 months, not coming back. That was also 2 years sentence. Well, we were sentenced to it with my wife, but obviously we didn't return to collect that sentence. Then somehow the new regime had forgotten about those sentences. Germany. Through the obstacles, I made it again on a university. I got a teaching job there, and at the same time, they kindly enrolled me somehow in a PhD program in the field, actually, of operations research under the Faculty of Management Science. But it was a field where on the borderline of statistics, economics, applied mathematics, and computer science.